Okay, so I'm doing this because I keep hearing listen, the word listen, listen, and then I suddenly thought about hearing and call, but I keep hearing the word listen. So I went and defined the Paleo Hebrew meaning of listen. So let's learn what it is. In ancient Hebrew, listen and obey are exact same concept. The foundational word for hearing, listening, and an active call is Shema, not Shama, Shema. Rather than passively letting sound waves into your ear, it represents active listening, taking heed, responding, and acting on what is heard. The Hebrew root Shema and the biblical Hebrew, there is no separate word for obey. So obey and listen is the same word. To listen is to obey. Hearing, letting the Creator Yah's voice, Heyah's voice, reach your mind, heart, and soul. Listening, active engagement, where you internalize and process the message. So we need to internalize and process the message. The obeying, the required response. In ancient Hebrew, thinking, listening is incomplete without action. Oh, I got to say that again right here. Thinking, listening is incomplete without action. Explore the dynamic interplay of hearing and doing in the meaning of listening in Hebrew. Paleo Hebrew pictographs. In the original Paleo script, letters are visual pictures rather than just phonetic alphabets. And y'all, I just realized how they're keeping us in captivity because they gave us letters and not pictographs. And because we are only just sounding out the letters but not taking action, we are standing immobile in captivity. I pray that did not go over your head. And I realized this yesterday because this woman was making a video and she was saying that they gave us all these words and we over here doing the words and it's like we're in a trance. And I was like, yes, because originally we used pictures and we read from the bottom to up. So when you read from the bottom up, so from the earth, you go up to the heavens where the Creator Yah is. And we read from the right to the left. When you read from the right to the left, the Creator did everything with the Creator's right hand. So we are taking it from the right hand of the Creator and going to the left and pushing everything into our being, our left, into the left hemisphere of our brain. But they got us doing it backwards, which keeps us in a trance. They get us reading from the top to the bottom, looking down. And then they got us also going from the left to the right. See, I'm a true left brain hemisphere person. I am left-handed. So if you're left-handed, you start at the right. You start at the right side and you go to the left, and everything is stored in your left side of your brain, which the left side is an action side. It's an action side. They're teaching you to start from the action side and go to the resting side, which is a trance. But I can't do that because I am like a true left hand. I'm not ambidextrous. I'm a true left hand. I have to train myself constantly on doing things the other way. And it's is hard for me. But this is why when I got the Stone Addiction to Not, it was so easy for me. It was easy for me to read it because I am a true left-handed person. I am a true left-handed person. I use that left brain. So I listen, and then I go store it and go into action in the left side. So they taught you to do things backwards. We don't do pictures where it require action. Then they give you pictures that are wicked, and then you are doing those actions because those pictures are wicked. Then they teach you to use letters that cause you to be in a trance. They hypnotize you into standing and not doing action. I pray that this does not go over your head. So a person like me, they can't control me because the Creator made me full left-handed. I have to train myself to do things with the way the rest of the world do. I have to train. I have to remember. I have to coach myself every time, even when I get in my car, even when I do different things. I have to remind myself, you got to go on this side of the road. You got to do this way. You got to do it that way. You got to, I have to tell myself the difference between left and right. And I've been doing this since when they say right, don't go left. Because when somebody say right, I will go left. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm that much of a left-hand person. So this is why I don't connect with people. This is why I have a hard time with people. And I have to train myself, pull myself down without action. Because for me, when I hear something, I know there's an action. That's why when I heard this morning, listen, I knew it was an action I had to do. So I asked, what do I need to listen to? You see what I'm saying? Because I knew there was something I had to do. Once I was told, listen, what do I need to do? They taught us not to go jump into action. Okay? When the Creator says, hearken to the words out of my mouth, that means there's an action you have to do. There's to-dos. There's something to do. When you're hearkening out of the words of the Creator's mouth, there's something you have to do. The Creator Yah says, be set apart. That means you got something to do. Be Kodesh. There's something you got to do to be Kodesh. Be holy. There's something you have to do. It tells Jacob to go out and take the laws and speak them and be ministers unto the people. We had something to do. Jacob, that means we don't sit and wait on our husbands, because Jacob is the women. See, there's the action. And this thing's going to make men mad, because I'm sorry to tell y'all are not the priests. Y'all are the warriors. You are not the priests. Y'all are not teaching. Think about Abraham and Sarah. The Creator told Abraham to listen to Sarah. Think about how powerful Sarah's connection was to when she looked up. When Abraham and Yah was having a conversation about having a baby, Sarah wasn't, do y'all realize that Sarah was not there? Sarah was inside her tent, right? She was inside her tent. But Sarah heard the conversation and began to laugh. So it had to be spoken directly to Abraham. It had to be spoken directly. Do y'all realize that when the women, if y'all pay attention, the women didn't have to go to the temple, didn't have to, they were wherever they were and they heard. But the men, it had to be written down for them and shown to them in the pictures. And they had to be given a name, but the women had an automatic connection to the Creator. I pray that don't go over your head. So let's keep reading this. So in the original Paleo Hebrew script, letters are visual pictures rather than just phonic alphabets. Shema is spelled with the three distinct symbols that tells a story about listen. So it tells a story about what you have to do, what we have to do. Let's keep going. Shin, originally drawn as two front teeth, meaning to consume, press, or destroy, as in chewing, but spiritually representing the breath, the fire, and the words of the Creator, Yah, Heyah. Ayin, the original drawn as a human eye, represented to see, watch, know, or experience. Mem, originally drawn as rushing water. Water moves, y'all, representing chaos, mighty water, or the nation. Water moves. That means you got to do something. The Paleo story. Together, these picture graphs illustrates that to listen is to consume and digest the words of the Creator Heyah, to see or perceive it with understanding, ayin, and to allow the understanding to wash over and transform your chaotic world life. So in these two transforming, you can deepen your understanding of this concept by watching Listen Shema the word study provided by the Bible Project, a call, Korah. Now, when referring to a vocal call or summon, the Hebrew word used is Korah. Korah. It means to call out loud. We got to do something. It's out loud. To summon, to name. When used in a spiritual or relational context, a call is an invitation to relationship. So when the Creator calls you, it is a relationship. Much like the Creator Yah calling out Abraham or Samuel. Helpful resources to dive deeper into the theology of active hearing in the biblical Hebrew. Consider exploring these resources. Read Shema, to hear is to obey, to understand the profound connection between hearing and taking action. Access. The Hebrew word shama, meaning usage, and for a comprehensive study on the verb. So it is about doing. So let's go here. In addition to not, did C Scrolls and Amplified Bible give specific verses with Shema and full examples and do not include the New Testament and traditional religious commentary, interpretations, doctrine, and beliefs. I don't want that crap. I just want to hear the words out of the Creator's mouth. I want to hear the words the Creator Heyah gave the prophets. That's it. All right, let's do it. The root meaning of Shema. In the ancient Hebrew mindset, hearing is an active response, not a passive physical sensation. The root Shema does not separate hearing from doing. To the prophets, if a person does not act upon the words of the Creator, they have not truly heard. So if you don't act, you have not heard. Paleo Hebrew pictograph meaning. The original script used by the prophets consists of concrete symbols. Break down the three-letter Shema reveals a foundation instruction from the Creator. Shin T represents pressing down, crushing, sharpening, destroying. Mean water represent massive water, chaos, liquid, rushing forward. I represents looking, seeing, knowing. It says here, combined prophetic function. The pictographs render Shema as crushing the chaos to see the experience clearly. When the Creator calls out to a prophet, Shema demands that a person break through all external noise, distractions, and internal mental chaos. I'm going to say that again. You have to break through all external noises. So the external noise of, oh, y'all, if you knew how powerful that was for me, I don't know if it'll be powerful for you, but this is powerful for me. Breaking through the external noise. This is why I always tell you to talk to the Creator. Empty me out of the ways of this world and fill me with your ruach, in your walk, in your talk, in your way. So I'm finna start, okay, I'm finna pray this right now. Creator Yah, empty me out of all external noise, all distractions, and all internal mental chaos. I fall out of agreement with external noises, distractions, and internal mental chaos. I repent for participating, because listening to it, you're participating with it, people. Because listen is an action word. I repent for participating unknowingly or knowingly with external noises, distractions, and internal mental chaos. I fall out of agreement with it. I renounce it. I do not want it. Fill me with your walk. Fill me with your talk. Fill me with your ways. Fill me with your voice, Creator, so I can listen and take action. Hallelujah. Now, let's go back. So we're going to go back right here. Shema demands that person. It demands you. It demands you. And we're going to look up the word demand after this in Paleo Hebrew. Demands that the person break through all the external noise, distractions, and internal mental chaos. Shine men, so that I can be completely open to visually perceive and actively comprehend the Creator's reality versus the reality that the world has given us, that Mastema has brought to you. And who is Mastema? We had a lesson about Mastema. Mastema is the leader, aka El Elyon. Mastema, El Elyon, JC is all the same. Same dude, different package. In Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, Mastema says, I'm the one that's in charge of these demonic spirits. JC tells you in the New Testament, I have legions. I have power over the legions of demons. In the book of the Testaments of Solomon, a demon came out of a lion. It was a demon. It was a lion. In chapter 15 says, I am in charge of legions of demons. That lets you know that all three of them are the same. Then in the pantheon of gods of entities. El Elyon is in charge of all the other things. It tells you I am the most high of the demons, because it lets you know my name is El. El is created. El is created. El is created. So they have completely turned the world into a distraction, external noise to keep you from hearing from the Creator, to distractions, internal mental chaos. That's why they torture you when you're a child. They torture you and they beat things into you to give you internal chaos, so you cannot hear the call from the Creator. But that is their job. Now it's our job to fight these things. There's the spiritual war laid out for you. I cannot make this any plainer for you. And I thank the Creator Yah for calling me. I thank the Creator Yah for not allowing me to do something where I cannot receive the call. Thank you for keeping me so that when you called, I was able to respond. And I keep telling people, I wasn't the original person that was called. The Creator, Heyah, showed me the person that the Creator, Heyah, called before I was called. And she turned it down. She was rather worship her husband and go under the feet of her husband and all these different things. And she still worshiped JC. She still worshiped JC. So this cannot be anybody that I know, that I talk to on the internet. And this is somebody that I personally know, that I personally used to spend time with. We used to go places together. So it cannot be any of you that's owning this. So you will not try to tell people, she's talking about me. I am not talking about you. This woman I knew before I even knew anything about y'all only. Stop putting yourself, adding yourself into my life story. If I'm talking about somebody, it's somebody I personally knew and personally met. It ain't somebody I met on the internet, because I haven't physically met you yet. So stop adding yourself into the story. I ain't talking about you. Now, this woman is very powerful, very smart, and we used to have conversations about us being angel stock. We knew this. We knew it. We used to have this conversation all the time. We used to go out, eat dinner together. We would go to the park and go walk and just have conversations about this, that we knew that we were angel stock, but we didn't understand what we were doing, why we were doing, why we were here. We knew we was angel stock. We used to have this conversation all the time. So I cannot be talking about you if I just met you on the internet. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back that keeps trying to say that I'm talking about them. I am not talking about you. This is somebody that I personally knew and spent time with, and who I love with all. I love her. I love this woman. But she was the original call, and then it got passed to me. Y'all showed me this. The Creator, Heyah, showed me this. I sent her a stone edition tonight. I bought me one and sent her one to her house. So I cannot be talking about you. I only sent one book to one person. She's angel stock. We both knew that we were angel stock, but we could not explain what we were doing and why we were here. I understand now why we're here and what we're doing. There's other people who are angel stock. They got the call, they answered. These are the people that I am talking with. We do Sabbath classes, personal Sabbath class, Zoom classes, and we're seeking the words out of the Creator Yah's mouth. We're defining them and we're putting action to them. That's what we're doing. That's Sister Terry, Sister Dominique, Sister Judith, aka Sheila. That is what we're doing. We're listening and we're putting the action to it. We're not stopping at, okay, no JC, okay, no sacrifices. Now that will get you to live as old as a tree if you stop that. But you're still going to have to practice. And when you finally sin, when you taste sour grapes, you're going to die. And it's going to be immediately. So you might live to be 700 years old and decide you want to do something wrong. Did you hear that? And you're going to die. But in order to get the laws placed in your heart to receive new bodies, receive new spirits, you got to go all the way down the rabbit hole and get rid of the external noise of mastima, get rid of the distractions of mastima, and get rid of the internal mental chaos of mastima, which mastima is not doing anything wrong. That is the job that mastima was hired to do. And our job is to fight a spiritual war against this. That is our job. And stop waiting on somebody to put their hand up to come run around and save you. The only one that can save you from this is you. You have to do it. You have to put the action in. You are the one has to put, I can't do your action for you. When you listen, you're the one have to put the action in. It's you, men. It's you, women. It's you, Israel. It's you, Jacob. You have to go figure out what sin is and then not do it. And you cannot listen to the pen of the wicked scribes. They have made the Torah void. If you are studying to show yourself approved, you would know where that is in our Torah and Tanakh, in our writings. You would know where it is. It has to be 3 witnesses to that, and it is 3 witnesses to that. In the book of Job, Job said, they have taken you down the wrong path. In the book of Jeremiah, it says, go down the path, inquire about the path of old, and then start doing it. That's what we're on. Every Sabbath, we're doing Zoom and we're studying the path to get back to the true laws, the true words that came out of the Creator Yah's mouth. If you want to join us, let us know. But if you want to keep on doing what you do, how you doing it, then keep on. But you have to get past the external noise, the distractions, and the eternal mental chaos. And I am so happy that the Creator Yah lets me do it this way, because this is what was bothering me. This is why I would get angry. You would come with the distractions and I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm fighting my own internal mental chaos. I'm fighting the eternal noise, but now I got to sit there and battle with y'all distraction, because you want to talk about JC, you want to talk about this, you want to argue and debate about how we need to sacrifice. I ain't got time for that no more. I'm past that. That's why I keep telling y'all, I recommend y'all to go to this person, to that person over there, because maybe the Creator Yah didn't call you to have the law written on your heart so you can live forever and ever and ever and ever, 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 and ever, ever, and ever. Hallelujah. The Creator Yah maybe only called you so you can live as old as trees. But that's between you and the Creator Yah. And I told somebody this not too long ago, because this person had a conversation with me, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. And the person said they couldn't see what I was saying. Seeing is hearing what Yah says. That's why y'all said, seek me with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. You cannot do that without seeing, without listening to the words and let the words move you to an action. You cannot do it. You can't do it. I cannot go and show you what Yah told me without listening to the words first. How it goes for me. I hear different things come to me, like this morning the word listen. I kept hearing listen over and over again this morning when I woke up. So this teaching became out because, okay, I asked the question verbally out of my mouth out loud. How do I listen? Then I heard go define it in the Paleo Hebrew. And this is how this class is coming. Just like Samuel heard, it's like Abraham heard, I heard. And this is how I get all my teachings. I ask a question, I hear, or I'll just hear. I didn't even ask the question this morning. I just heard the word listen. I kept hearing it over and over again. Listen, 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 listen. And then I started hearing this song. Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah, I found you. And you found me too. And then I heard, oh, baby, listen. Then I heard again. Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah, I found you. And you found me too. And then I heard, oh, baby, listen. So I kept hearing, listen, 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 listen. Then that song started playing in my head. And then I heard the specific verse, oh, baby, listen. To let me know the key thing that I need to you. I found you and you found me. I called you and you found me. If you seek Yah, you will find Creator Yah. This is how all this stuff comes along. Y'all can call me crazy. Y'all can call me crazy. But like the video I just did yesterday. What type of crazy are you? I hear the voice of the Creator Yah, not in some booming thing. I hear words or themes or scriptures or I'll hear, what about Sarah? What about this person? What about that person? That kind of thing. Where's the daughters of Zion at? Why did you talk about the daughters of Zion so many times in the prophets? That's how I get this. So today we're going about listen. Listen is an action. Now y'all just gave me and showed me to show y'all that we have what the spiritual war is. And how you beat the spiritual war. You beat it by listen, but listen is action. This right here, this eternal noise. Y'all show me to show y'all who is the creator of the external noise, the distractions, and the internal noise. Now I showed you this. So I'm going to go again right here. Shema demands that the person break through all external noise, distractions, internal, mental chaos, so that their eyes can be completely open to visual, perceive, and actively comprehend the Creator's reality. The people keep saying we're in the matrix. We're in the matrix of mastema, but it was allowed to happen. Why? In the book of Jubilees, mastema says the hearts of men or wicked. So the matrix that you are in is that of the wickedness that you created for yourself. Mastima just provided you the dish for you to eat. It is already what's in your heart. It is already who you are. It's already who you are. Mastima's not doing anything wrong. Mastima's doing Mastima's job by bringing out who you truly are. That's what Mastima's doing. Mastima's doing Mastima's job. You cannot get Mastima mad at Mastima, angry at Mastima, angry at the creator, y'all, angry at the because you want to be wicked. It's you, which is what's in a man's heart is what his actions, what a man's actions is. The reason Mastima can't do certain things to certain people because internal, that inside of their heart is not wickedness. That's why Mastima can't get certain people to do certain things. For example, somebody tell you to go and have a smortion. You're going to be like, if you're a wicked person, you're going to be like, yeah, it ain't no big deal. But for somebody like me, to me, that was always wicked and was always wrong. Now I'm telling people they were wrong for doing that. Owning slaves. Here are these people over here talking about owning slaves. It's no big deal. It's in the Bible that we own slaves. No, it's not. That word is not even, the word slave ain't even in there. They changed it to that. The word slave does not mean slave. It means a person who has a job. We got jobs now. You got a job now. That means you a slave. But they can't mistreat you. They can't beat you. They can't do this. They have to give you your money on the same day. They have to give you everything they're owed to you, or the creator gonna come see about them. That's in Malachi. The creator gonna come see about them if they don't pay you on the same day. What job on this earth pay you on the same day you get paid? Very few. The same day you do the work. Very few. It's very few that do it. Very few to do that. That is a righteous job. But the other people, if you've not given those people their wages, if you are not giving those people their money on that same day, you are wicked and you are going down. And you're going to sit here and say, no, you wicked and you're going down. I ain't telling you what I think. I'm telling you what it says in Malachi chapter 3. Yah says, I'm going to come and judge you guilty for taking the wages away from people, from oppressing people. Oppression is slavery. Taking people's wages away. What y'all call modern day slavery. Modern day slavery is you take somebody, you kidnap them, and you beat them, rape them, murder them, all this kind of stuff. Everybody that has something to do with that, you liked it anyway. You wanted to be that anyway. And you went straight into the hands of Mastima. Now, it says, the verse in context comparing versions. To bypass the late stage doctrines, structural interpretations, theological commentaries, look directly at how specific prophetic text reads according to three sources platform. Deuteronomy 6 and 4, the foundational command. The Stone Edition to knock. Oh, hear, O Israel, the Creator Yah, our power. The Creator is one and only. The Dead Sea Scrolls found 4Q Deuteronomy. Paralateries. And we want to see what this word means too. Hear, O Israel, the Creator Yah, our power. The Creator is one. He's not the Creator Yah is not the one, the two, or the three. Amplified Bible. Hear, O Israel, the Creator, our power, is one authority, the only authority. Now, when we see this word right here, Lord, that's the word authority. When you see this word God, that word is power. So when you see that word, that's power. You see that right there, that's authority. Exodus 19:5, the conditional voice, stone addition to knock. And now, if you will diligently obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all the peoples. Ooh, we just saw obey. Listen to my voice. Obey and listen is the same word. We just learned that. Then it says in Dead Sea Scrolls 4Q Exodus. B, if you will shema, listen. So it says it twice. Listen, shema, listen. Obey, same word, to my voice, and guard my covenant. Amplified Bible. Now, therefore, if you will, in fact, obey my voice and keep my covenant agreement, then you shall be my own special treasure and possession of my own above all peoples. Jeremiah 22:21. The refusal to hear. The stone addition to knock. I spoke to you in your tranquility. Tranquility means what? But you said, I will not listen. So you refuse to take action on what Yah, the creator, Heyah, was speaking. This has been your way since your youth, that you did not listen to my voice. Dead Sea Scrolls 4Q Jeremiah A. You said, I will not shema. You did not shema to my voice. Shema. Amplified Bible. I spoke to you in your prosperity. So in your prosperity, we was doing good. For those people who said that Israel and Jacob never did good, you're lying, that truth ain't in you. For 1,000 years with David, we did right. For several hundred years with for like almost 200 years with Joshua, we did right. So after Joshua, we went right back into sin. Then David came along. David started warring, and for about 1,000 years, we did right, and then we fell off. After that fell off was recently when we went into the 400-year captivity. Your manner from your youth that you have not obeyed my voice. Textual analysis across selected translations uses hear or obey interchangeable. Substitute the tetragrammaton with the name. Y'all realize that Shem right there. That's the word Shem right there. The name. Focus on preserving a pure literal text flow strictly within the bounds of the original 24 Hebrew books. Dead Sea Scrolls show the text in its oldest found manuscript state highlights the repetition of Shema for urgent emphasis. Validated that the oldest prophetic fragment do not have separate words for listening or obeying. Amplified, added bracketed modifiers like listen, obey to expand on the single Hebrew verb. Explicitly displays the dual action, comprehension and execution. When you listen, you got to comprehend it and then execute. Bound up within the original language. The word given to the prophets. The creator identifies the creator Yah's power, Yah's amunah to Moses in Exodus 3:14. Heyah, I will be who I will be. When the creator commands the prophets to shema, it is never a request to sit and receive concepts into the ear. What did the prophets do? They got up and they went and did some stuff. Are y'all getting up and doing, or you just sitting there? The prophets, the call, Korah, is an activation command. When Heyah speaks, the word functions as a living force. Hearing is execution. If the dynamic force of the voice does not alter the path of the receiver, no hearing has occurred. So when you hear the voice of the Creator, your path change. Your path change. No concept of blind obedience. The Paleo Hebrew I proves that true Shema yields vision, understanding, first-hand perception of the truth, never blind compliance with unverified dogma. So we're going to verify the truth because the Creator is the power of truth. We never go in blind and just do it like those other nations tell you to do with their. You just need to believe. You don't need to just believe, just believe, just believe. No, we need to hear. We need to listen. We need to search, and we need to do. Yah said in Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 22, I never told you about sacrifices. So why are you doing it? Why are you teaching it? In Jeremiah 7, verse 33? Y'all said it never even crossed my mind. So that means everywhere that somebody was told to sacrifice something, even told to Abraham, y'all said it never crossed my mind. That means I never told Abraham to do that. This is why Sarah was going after them, as Sarah was trying to stop Abraham, because Sarah understood and understood that that wasn't the voice of the Creator Yah. Sarah understood and understood that that was Mastema, and that's why she was trying to stop Abraham. Because Sarah could hear the voice of the Creator Yah wherever she was. I'm gonna see if y'all didn't even get this. I realized this a long time ago. Sarah understood and understood and can hear the difference between the voice of the Creator Yah and the chaos of Mastema. See, Sarah had the ability to break through all the external noise, distractions, and internal mental chaos. She understood and understood. That's why she knew to get that boy Ishmael away from Isaac, because she understood and understood that she could hear the demons telling Ishmael to kill Isaac. I bet y'all didn't know that. That's why she told Abraham to get them away. Did y'all know that? I've known it for quite a while. Sarah heard, and Sarah took action. She understood and understood that that was not the voice of the Creator. She sees the difference. That was Mastema. Because she understood and understood that it was the voice of your lips and not the action of your hands, unaliving innocent animals and innocent people and innocent babies and innocent anything to die for your sin. She knew that it was not that. She knew that it was the call. And then when you respond, that it is what? Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah, I found you and you found me too. The call is I found you and then you find me. I called you, and then you answered the action. So listen from now. Listen for the voice of Yah, and then listen the difference between Mastema and the call of Yah. If you know the laws and the statutes and the commandments like you're supposed to, you would know that the Creator Yah would not tell you to go sacrifice Isaac. So to the prophets, Yah, a call is an activation command. When Heyah speaks, the word functions as a living force. Hearing is execution, Yah. If the dynamic forces of the voice does not alter the path of the receiver, no hearing has occurred. No concept of blind obedience. The Paleo Hebrew I proves. So we have to see the truth first before we can even put the action in. Proves that a true Shema yields vision, overstanding, and understanding. And first-hand precepts of the, we're going to go over here and define this, the difference. First-hand precepts of the truth, never blind compliance to unverified dogma. Never blind compliance to unverified dogma. Oops, I did it twice. Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah. You call me, and I answered you. Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah. You call me, you call me, and I answered you, and I love you. I love you so much, Yah, I cannot speak without saying your name and what you mean to me in my life. I need Yah in my life, 'cause Yah called me and I answered. Yah, listen, every time I close my eyes, I thank You call me. You call me, y'all. Woo, thank you. I love you. I always do that. All right, let's try it. All righty, let's learn. So, Paleo Hebrew pictograph meaning the creator named Heyah. The name Heyah translates to I am, I was, and I will be. It denotes pure self existence. Heyah. Hey, a person with arms raised. It means to look, behold, reveal, and breathe. The word hey, H-E, they told you it meant a man. It is not a man. Yod, a hand, a forearm. It means to work, make, exert power. So the Yah is the power, the moving. That's the master of war. So people telling you to not to call on the power, calling on the one that makes things move, the calling on the one who put on the work in, that lets you stand there still. Prophetic meaning, behold the hand, behold the revelation. It indicates a creator who reveals the creator's entirely through the creator's active deeds and presence. A call, the word, means to call out, invite, or encounter. The encounter of the first kind, Quaff, the sun on the horizon. It means a cycle, gathering, circling, and condensing. Resh, the head of a man. It means chief, first, top, most important. And man includes women, people. When the Creator Yah says man, it does not excludes Eve. Allah, an ox head. It means a raw strength, power, or leadership. Prophetic meaning, gathering the chief power. That was Sarah. She was the chief power. How do we know she was chief power? Because her name translates to prince. And prince is also the exact same thing David will be called in the future and what Michael is. Michael is the chief prince, the angels. Sarah was born the chief prince of Jacob. The prophetic call is not just a noise, it is a pulling together of supreme power to focus your attentions on the first creator. Come on. Encounters of the first kind, y'all. The encounters of the first kind. Come on. Demands. In the context of strict voice or requirement, the root used for demanding, driving, and pressing a matter is nagash. A sprout, seed, it means life, continually, or offspring. Nun means seed. The Joshua son of Nun, of the seed. Joshua was the son of the seed of Miriam, the seed of the truth, the seed of the life. Miriam name means chaos. She moved. She put the work in. Thank you. Thank y'all. A camel. It means to lift up, carry, walk, bridge a gap. Shin. Thorns. It means to pierce, hold fast, sharp, protect. Prophetic meaning, carrying a piercing word to sustain life. A demand from the creator is a sharp boundary meant to spear through chaos, forcing you to carry your life forward securely. Palaristeries, Te Tophet, the ancient Hebrew text calls frontlets, and Te Tophet, which are signs worn between the eyes to lock down the mind. Yes, it is a sign. Tet, a basket, a clay container. It means to surround, to store, container, guard inside. Pay, an open mouth. It means to speak, blow, open up. Tab, to cross sticks. Two cross sticks. It means a mark, a sign, monument, covenant, boundary. Prophetic meaning, double guarding what opens into the covenant. It acts as a physical sensory filter to trap and guard your thoughts, ensuring that everything your eyes process aligns directly with the boundary mark of the Creator. So the spiritual war is to do what? Kick out the chaos, kick out the lies, kick out the distraction, and the internal things of Mastema. Come on. Tranquility, Shaiv, tranquility in Jeremiah 22:21 is Shala, mean a state of ease, quiet, safety, being untroubled. We went through a time of safety and untroubled, people. And we're coming back to that. This is going to be the time of hallelujah. Right now, we're in the hallelujah of war. What did it say the yod is? What is the yod? Let's go back up here. The yod is a hand and forearm. We're going to see the Creator Yah's mighty power. That's as the arms of the Creator's mighty power. That is in Isaiah chapter 52. The hand and the forearm. We're going to see the power of the Creator's your arms. The yod. It means to work, make, exert power. So the people who is teaching that the why is bad, why are you teaching that? Why are you teaching that when that is the arm of the power and making, exerting power? And you telling the people to stop calling on the power. Y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what you're teaching. You're teaching crap that those darn Egyptians and those darn Arabs, which is Ishmael, taught you, so you will not call on the power. You ain't nothing but a Christian. You're teaching people to not call on the power. You gonna tell me that there is no power in Yah's name? Now you telling me that Yah ain't even got no power when you take the yod out and don't use it. When you take it out and you don't use it. Yah is the power. The power of Israel. Yah is the authority of the legions of all legions of all entities. You gotta have some power to do that. And you over here teaching people that you don't use it. The basket of clay, it means to surround, store, container, to guard inside. We got to guard inside. It's totafat. This word right here. An open mouth. It means to speak, blow, and open up. Two cross sticks. It means a mark, a sign, a monument, a covenant boundary. Prophetic meaning, double guarding what is open in the covenant. It acts as a physical sensory filter to trap and guard your thoughts, ensuring that everything your eyes process aligns directly with the boundaries mark of the Creator. Tranquility, Shav, tranquility in Jeremiah 22:21. And I know I read this already. Meaning a state of ease, quiet safety, and being untroubled. Shin, teeth, to crush, press, destroy. A shepherd staff, to guide, direct, and protect authority. Wav, Vav, Yav, the Vav, a heavy, the Wav, a heavy wooden tent peg, a nail. What? It's the connection. It's to secure, to bind, to attach. Hold fast. This is the year of the Vav or the Wav. The or the VAV or WAW, same word. Protect meaning crushing the straw path to bind yourself to the guide. True tranquility is not an absence of problems. It is the absolute security of being completely hooked and pinned down by the shepherd's authority, crushing any outside chaos. This is why we're going to show the power of the Creator Yah in the last day. How? Because we in the middle of our enemies. We're in the middle of them. And we're going to, this teaching y'all talking about, we're going to get gathered and we're going to go there and we're going to do all this and all this before the great and terrible day. It's not true. Because the Creator Yah says we are going to be in the middle. That's in Ezekiel. We're going to be in the middle and we're going to proclaim the power of Yah saved us. The power of Yah saved us. And then the people are going to start saying that the Creator is with you. Why? Because they're going to see 10,000 fall to the left, 10,000 fall to the right, and we won't get touched. They have to see it with their own eyes, and then that will create an action. If we're all off to ourselves while they're getting boot to ass, they're not going to see us survive while they fall. In order to seek, you got to see. In order for them to change their wicked ways and start seeking the Creator Yah, the way the Creator Yah and Heyah is supposed to be served, they got to see the work put in. This is why the Creator Yah got mad at Moses. Why? Because Moses took the stick and beat it instead of speaking like Yah did. That was supposed to be an example. So they thought that man put the work in. It was supposed to be the speaking. That's what put the work in. Yah's power put the work in. Okay? Moses took away the power of Yah by not just speaking, and put it in. Moses put the in his own hands. We're not gonna be doing anything. We're just gonna be sitting there and we're gonna be safe. We're not even gonna have to raise our hands. We're not gonna have to do anything. The only sword will be coming is from the Creator Yah. All we will be doing is speaking. The daughters of Zion, the house of Jacob will be speaking and saying, Yah did this. Yah's power did this. Heyah is the one. It was Heyah's knowledge. It was Yah's power. Mountains will be moved. 10,000 will fall at the left and 10,000 will fall at the right. Okay? We will just use our mouth and speak and say, Yah preserved me. Yah sent the power. It was Yah who unalived those people. It was Yah. This is why if you see us when we battle, it will be like 300 people and we will be kicking the crap out of all us. If you go and read the book of Joshua, you will see it was 212 people beating the crap out of thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Why? Because they spoke on Yah and Yah gave them the ability. But they spoke to the people. This is Yah giving me this power. This is Yah giving me this protection. This is Yah is doing this. This is the power of Yah streaming through me. I keep telling you, I don't have no dog in this fight. Everything I get it from the Creator Yah. The overstanding and understanding the understanding. I cannot give you anything without it being given to me first. Nothing. I take credit for nothing. I have no dog in this fight. This fight, the one who is the fighter is Yah. Yah is the master war. I have no dog in this fight. Prosperity. Prosperity expands on tranquility by adding the letter Hey. Woo, that's creation right there. Hey is the creation. Meaning thriving, abundant, safely, and physically well-being. Woo, you cannot have that without the Hey. And you cannot have it without the Hey. Woo. Prophetic meaning. Behold, the secure guidance that crushes lack. Prosperity is the visual revelation, of being completely anchored, Bob, under the Creator's protection, Lamed, completely destroying Shem, systematic panic and want. The Creator is the one that will destroy systematic panic and want. Understanding versus understanding versus overstanding. Ancient Paleo Hebrew did not use modern English mental theological concept. However, the original pictograph perfectly isolate these three distinct layers of perceptions using three native root words. Understanding, ben, linguistic definition, to discern, separate, or linguistically between things. Letters, bet, house, tent, yod, hand, work, noon, seed, life. Pictograph function, building a wall between parts to see life clearly. It functions like building a physical fence inside a house to sort and separate different materials. You understand a matter when you can break it down into pieces and see how each part operates independently. Understand. Kalab, linguistic definition, perfection, completeness, fully containing a matter within. So you need to you need to get it in. This is why I use this. The understanding. Understanding, you breaking it down. Understanding, you need to see how this functions within you. The letters. Kaf, open, palm, container, lamed, staff, Pictographs function, holes, and again, you're not supposed to call the Creator Yah a Aleph Lamed. Holding the complete authority inside the container. This is the direct equivalent of understanding. It happens when a truth is no longer just an outside concept. You analyze it, but something completely absorbs into your inner container. You embody the rule completely. Do you understand now? Do you understand now the difference between understanding? You know how it works, but here you're putting it in your insides. You put it in your innermost self and you're doing it. AKA listening. Overstand. Shakal. Linguistic definition, success. Now in Jeremiah chapter 22. The Creator Yah says, on the throne of David, there will not be a man after that will have success. That means they will not overstand. They do not understand. And they do not understand. They didn't break it down to see what it means. They didn't put it in their inward parts. And they did not seek it and get the perspective of what it truly is. There comes the lack of a success because they are doing their own action and they're doing their own thing. Do y'all get what the book's saying now? Y'all get on my nerves. Well, the man. You worried about a man. What did y'all say? What did Heyah say? What did the creator of Hey say? Did you get the call? Did you listen and you take the actions? It says in Jeremiah chapter 22, there will not be a man on the throne of David, after Solomon, after them, ever again that will succeed. It says right here, overstand. They will not overstand the laws and statutes, commandments, and they're going to write their own stuff. And that's exactly what happened. Sound confirmation. That's exactly what happened. And the true people who understood, and understood was the Zodah. The rest of them went on their own way, did their own thing, did the things of their own heart. They read the words of the Creator, y'all, and then they decided to put their own definition to it instead of breaking it down what it truly meant, then going over here and doing perfection and putting it within their complete body, and then became successful. Creator, y'all said they will not. That's Jeremiah chapter 22. Linguistic definition: success. Comprehension from a higher perspective and looking down at a map. The letters shin, thorns, sharp, kaf, palm, curve, lamed, shepherd staff, pictograph function, interlocking sharp boundaries to guide from above. This is understanding. It represents comprehensive wisdom that lets you predict outcomes. See, I keep telling y'all I'm not psychic. Y'all show me and then I saw, because you can only get certain outcomes when you do certain things. I'm not psychic. Just like the wisdom of Sarah. Sarah knew that the Creator, y'all, never told us to go sacrifice anything. So when Abraham was told to go sacrifice Isaac, she knew with wisdom that it was an outer spirit that told him to do that. Because y'all said it never even crossed my mind. And that's why Sarah was running to him, to Abraham, trying to stop him from sacrificing Isaac. That's why she was doing it. Why? And I believe she got to him. And that's why, and they're lying and saying she died. I believe she got to him and told him. They don't want you to know that Sarah had the wisdom, so they had to rewrite that story. I can't prove it, but I believe it. And one day, y'all gonna prove it to me, because every time I have this instinct of certain things that happen, eventually the proof comes. For example, I was talking to the sisters on the Sabbath, and I was like, I told them that honey is not what they told us it was. Honey is not what they told us it was. Well, guess what happened yesterday? Now, the honey was the sweetness of the fruits that we're supposed to eat, and not from, we ain't supposed to be eating nothing from no animal like that, right? Right? We ain't supposed to be doing that. You can see that in the book of Judges when Samson gave them the thing, gave them the honey out the thing. They weren't supposed to be doing that. Gave the mom and the dad that honey up out the thing, didn't tell them where it come from, didn't tell them what was in the food that he had made for them. That was wicked of him to do. Now, the reason why I'm breaking this up, because just yesterday, I get a text message from Sheila saying, I found that we never had honeybees. In the Americas, we never had honeybees. So if we never had honeybees, then we never ate honey. Thank you. We had other bees, but we didn't have honeybees. You're not supposed to be eating the flesh. You're not supposed to be eating of these things. We're only supposed to be eating the fruit of the seed. We ain't even supposed to be eating the root. Now, I've been going back and forth within myself about the root in the potato. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on the potato and on sweet potato, that, because there is a difference between a yam and a sweet potato. So I've been trying to figure that out. Maybe somebody can do some research and help me with that. But I've been trying. Working on that. I got a little confusion about that. So I keep telling you I don't know everything, but I'm working on it. But it says here that let me read that verse. Y'all, it is raining cats and dogs here, which is awesome because we need rain. We needed the rain here like bad. Like bad. We need about a month worth of rain here in Colorado. We are like the water is so low. So we need lots of rain. We didn't get hardly any snow this summer. Are you okay? Wait, here, sit down. I'm gonna take y'all potty. I'm almost done. Just sit. Mama be done in a minute, okay? Give me like 15 minutes and then I'll take y'all go potty. I ain't gonna like it either. It's wet out there. Yep, it's wet. It's raining. So we're gonna go over to Jeremiah. I'm gonna read this to you. 23, 22. And then we're gonna get ready to end this because I have no more. Would you like the map of specific sentences or a command in the Dead Sea Scroll and not to see how the three types of processes change? And yes, I would. But I want to read. And also, what? Oh. Through you, I found you too. And every time I close my eyes. Now, where is this at? Ow, 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 my side, y'all. And it reads Jeremiah 22 and 30. It reads, hold on, I gotta get some light. My sister right about the light outside is so much better than the light in the house. I had to put it right up on the light to see it. And it says, we're going to start at Jeremiah 22, verse 28 in my book. Is this man Cohen a despised, shattered statue, an unwanted vessel? Why have he and his descendants been displaced and thrown into a land they did not know? O land, hear the words of the Creator Yah. Thus says the Creator Yah, inscribe this man to become childless, a man who will not succeed in the life of none of his descendants will ever succeed in being a man who sits on the throne of David and ever to rule over Judah. They will not succeed. Why did they not succeed? Why they did not succeed? There will not be a man after that. It said, after the throne, after David, no man will succeed. Why? Keep reading. Woe to the shepherds who, this is chapter 23, verse 1. Woe to the shepherds who lose and scatter my sheep of the pasture. These are the words of the Creator Yah. Therefore, thus says the Creator Yah, the power of Israel, concerning the shepherds who tend my people. You scatter my sheep and disperse them, and you did not pay attention to them. Behold, therefore, I visit upon you the wicked of your deeds. These are the words of the Creator Yah. And I shall gather together the remnant of my sheep from the lands wherein I had dispersed them, and I shall bring them back to their coasts, and they will be fruitful and multiply, and I will establish shepherds for them who will tend them, and who will no longer be afraid, nor terrified, nor suffering loss. These are the words Creator Yah. Behold, days are coming. These are the words of Creator Yah, when I will establish a righteous sprout from David. A king will reign and prosper, and he will administer justice, righteousness in the land. In the days of Judah will be saved, and Israel will dwell securely. This is the name people will call him. The Creator is our righteousness. The Creator Yah is our righteousness. This is the name of this person. Yah is our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days are coming, the Creator Yah, when people will no longer swear, as the Creator Yah lives, who brought the children of Israel up out of the land of Egypt, but rather it will be as the Creator Yah lives, who brought up and brought back the offspring of the house of Israel from the land of the north and from the lands where the Creator had dispersed them, and they will dwell in their own land. Why? Because of the false prophets. My heart is broken within me. All my bone trembles, and I am like a drunken man. I like a man overcome by wine, because of the Creator Yah and because of the Creator Yah's holy words. This is what Jeremiah said, that because of the Creator Yah and because of the Creator Yah's words that Jeremiah listened to, Jeremiah realized that the people around them were false prophets. And let's keep going. Mapping the command. And so the Creator Yah spoke to Jeremiah and said, these people are false prophets. I didn't tell them this. I never told them none of these things. That's throughout Jeremiah. I ain't tell them to kill no babies. I didn't tell them to sacrifice no animals. I ain't tell them none of that stuff. Let's keep going. To see how understanding, Kala, and overstanding shall bin, understanding. Understanding, Kalau, overstanding, Sakal, changes the execution of a prophetic command. We map out the core of the foundation command found in Deuteronomy 6, from the Tanakh and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Shema Yasharel, listen, execute, O Israel. Execution through understanding, being separating the parts. You dissect the command. Your mind separates the voice of the Creator from the noise of the world. You structurally analyze the Hebrew words. Break down what is clean from what is unclean. Come on, y'all. Y'all know I can't be putting these classes together. Y'all know I can't be putting these teachers together. You know this has to be coming from Heyah, 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 Heyah. Knowing exactly what is required. Execution through inner standing. Kalal, feeling the counter. The sound wave of the voice is no longer sterner. It completely fills your inner body container. It modifies your vibration so that you do not just obey the law. You become the law in motion. Your natural pulse matches the Creator's breath. Woo! Execution through overstanding. Sakal, the strategic high view. You look down upon the timeline from a higher vantage point. You see exactly why the command was given. Thank you. How it protects the seed from generational traps. Thank you. And how executing it right now shapes the future outcome of the entire environment. The command to hear Sarah's voice. Traditional commentaries often frame Sarah submissively, but the raw text of the Tanakh, Genesis 21:12, records a direct, absolute command for the Creator, from the Creator, to regard Sarah's wisdom. In all that Sarah says to you, Shema, listen. He says, in all that Sarah says to you, Shema, listen, execute to her voice. Come on, it's a whole different thing. In all that she says, not just about Ishmael. They made it just about Ishmael. It said all. The Paleo Hebrew breakdown of Sarah's name. Prophetic meaning, behold, the short boundary of the chief authority. So Sarah is the who? She the what? She was the what? Abraham became Abraham was of many nations. Sarah is the chief authority. Come on. She the chief. Chief means righteous in Paleo Hebrew. The Creator, Heyah, did not tell Abraham to simply indulge Sarah. He commanded Abraham to shimmer her voice because her name explicitly carries the structural blueprint of the sin, protecting thorn boundary, and the hay and the breath revolution of the Creator. Sarah was channeling the structural blueprint of wisdom needed to secure the lineage, forcing Abraham to adjust his path to her specific directive. Come on, come on, come on. Part 3, the DNA matrix of the two Heys and the double X chromosome. The linguistic alignment between the Creator's self-revealing name. The functional biology of women and their prophetic roles. Kohenives, wise women, single women, reveals a deep geometric connection. The structure of the names Heyah and Yahweh. The Creator uses two primary destinations for identifying in the prophetic text. Heyah, Heyah contains two Heys flanking the Yod. Yahweh contains two Heys acting as the structural windows, breath, and frame, Yod and the Bob. Woo! So that's the structural window. The two Heys is the structure. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going, because y'all men ain't gonna like this. Woo! Woo! That's why y'all out here calling me crazy, calling me a witch, calling me a sorcerer, saying I'm schizophrenic, because y'all are the seed of the Canaanite. Y'all are the seed of Mastema, and y'all trying to lead the people away from the true words of the Creator, y'all. And that's why y'all don't want nobody listening to me. But the Creator, y'all, said, I'm going to come see about you for oppressing Jacob Isaiah 41 says, the men are going to come with their accusations. They're going to say all these things to you. But Heyah, the power says, I strengthened you, Jacob. O worm of Jacob, I strengthened you. It was me. You depend on me. The power that comes from you, the knowledge that comes to you is from me and not from man. Woo! The chromosomal connection, double X. The male matrix, XY, contains an X chromosome and a degraded smaller Y chromosome. In Hebrew terms, this mirrors the Yod and Vav. Didn't I tell y'all that? The linear elements of action, seed transmission, and structural nailing down. Female matrix contains two full-form structural identical X's chromosomes. This perfectly mirrors the two Heys. So you have the power right here. You have a Wab right there to do what? Put in the action. But the women have the Heys to create. We got two of them. Because women carry the double open windows, they possess a biological and spiritual mirror of framing architecture of both Heyah and Yahweh. They are hardwired to be direct vessels of replication. Now, what did we just read over here in Jeremiah chapter 22? Let's go back over there. Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 28. Is this man Konah? It's Coniah, a despised shadow statue, a unwanted vessel. A unwanted vessel. I'm going to say this again for the people in the back. Oh, unwanted vessel. This is not the vessel I call. I didn't call this vessel. But the daughters of Zion is the what? Vessel. The daughters of Jacob is the vessel. We the vessel. We're the vessel. We're the vessel. But it says over here in Jeremiah 22, verse 28, they're unwanted vessels. Woo, woo. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Y'all have to know this is the Creator pouring into me. Now how? I'm finna show it to you. I'm trying not to close it out so I can finish reading it. We're not closing nothing. Let's do this. Oops. Flip the camera. Where's right there? What does that say right there? Jeremiah 22. What does that say? Unwanted vessel. Unwanted vessel. Right there. And that none of y'all, none will not succeed in this life. None of the descendants will ever succeed in being a man who sits on the throne of David and ever rule over Judah. None of y'all. None of the men. Not a man. Not one man. Right there. Unwanted vessel. But the vessel that the Creator did want. It's this one right here. This is the vessel that the Creator wanted right there. Because women carry double open windows. And they possess a biological and spiritual mirror of the framing architecture of both Heyah and Heyah. They are hardwired to be direct vessels of replication, structural containing, and life revelations. Woo! Jacob, the Koheneth priestess. Woo, that's my name right there. That is my name right there. And the singing women. Throughout the Tanakh, women are repeatedly shown operating as primary conduits of the sound, frequency, and prophetic collaboration. Miriam and the singing women, Exodus 15, they did not just use singing lyrics, they used drums, vocal frequencies to shift the atmosphere, cement the victory of the cross after the sound of the sea. And before that, Miriam was receiving all kinds of download, y'all. All kinds of downloading. Y'all sleep on Miriam. And the wise women, Kohabna, figures like the wise of Tekoa, 2 Samuel 14, and the wise women of Abel, Beth Machlada, 2 Samuel 20, are called upon by generals and kings to settle wars, deliver strategic wisdom because they can see from the high view of Sakal. Come on, baby. Woo! The connection to Jacob. When Yaakov wrestles the messenger and undergoes a transformation, his lineage only survived because the women guard the genetic code, the vocal frequency. The Koheneth, female priest vessels, utilizes her double revelation matrix XX to catch the raw, unmanifest sound waves of Heyah, woo, Heyah, and turn them into physical reality through song, birth, boundary setting. Setting them boundaries, y'all. Y'all got to set them boundaries. Would you like to analyze specific shema of her voice in its original Paleo Hebrew letter string to see how the frequency of women's voice structurally altered their environment? Thank you. Hold on. Letter by letter analysis, Shema Balako, the praise is exact command the Creator gave to Abraham, meaning listen, execute according to her voice. Breaking this phrase down, breaking this down, breaking this phrase down into a raw Paleo Hebrew pictograph string reveals how a woman's vocal frequency structurally alters an environment. The action link is Shema, Shin, Mem, Ayan, Crush, Rush, Chaos, to open the eyes. The physical sound waves must first break through, shatter the ambient static confusion and noise of the immediate room. This clears the slate so that pure precepts, Ayan, can take place. Delivery vector, Be, Kuola, Bet, house inside, represents the home, the physical body, and enclosed space. The voice is designed to penetrate inside a structure. It does not bounce off surfaces. Horizon, condensed, quark, represents a sun on horizon, drawing things into a circle, condensing and focusing a frequency. Lamed, staff, authority, represents the shepherd's staff, meaning direction, alignment, forward movement, and governing rule. Hey, window, exhale, waiting to exhale, y'all. Hey, represents the open window, revelation. Ooh, we've been waiting to exhale, y'all. The women been sitting back waiting to exhale, y'all. Represents the open window, revelations, and the breath of life, the biological marker of the female matrix, XX. Combined structural impact. When you string these elements together, Shema Bel Kola is not an emotional plea. It is a linguistic formula. Crush the surrounding chaos, Shema, to insert into the house Bet, a condensed focused frequency, Quaf, of the governing authority, Lamad, that breathes the raw life revelation, Hey, of the Creator. When the women speak from the disaligned state, her voice acts as a geometrical chisel. It breaks down the erratic, chaotic wavelengths in the room, Shin Mem, and reorders the environment into a structured, governed, and living space. Part 2, the alignment with Jeremiah 6 and Jeremiah 9. The prophetic text traces a direct breakdown of structural order among the men, requiring the Creator to call upon the female frequency to reset the nation. Come on, reset the nation with the woman's voice. Woo! The broken path of the men, Jeremiah 6:16. Jeremiah 6:16, the Creator speaks to the people, primarily addressing the male leadership, priests and prophets who have corrupted the system. Stand by the ways and see and ask for the ancient paths where the good way is, and walk in it and find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk in it. Why? Because y'all don't want to listen to no woman. Because y'all don't want to hear no woman speak. Woo! Y'all didn't want to hear us exhale. Come on. The men refused to shimmer. They ignored the foundational blueprint, creating a state of societal, mental, and physical chaos, aka they listen to mastema. That is specifically what it says over there in Isaiah chapter 41. Yah says, we are gonna come together, the king of Jacob, and Jacob and the king of Jacob are going to come together, and we're going to listen to them, bring out their things, those prophets, and those prophets we're going to say, can you show us the future? And we're going to sit and we're going to have a conversation about it, and this is going to say, no, they can't. Why? Because they're listening to false tongues, false deities. They're listening to the fallen. They're listening to mastema. The wilderness conundrum, Jeremiah 9:12-13. Because the palace was abandoned, the land fell into complete ruin. In Jeremiah 9:12, the Creator asks a crucial question to challenge the intellectuals. Who is the wise man that may understand this? And who is to whom? And And who is he to whom the mouth of the Creator Yah has spoken, that he may declare? Why is the land ruined and burnt up like a wilderness, so that none passes through it? The text establishes that the men who claim to be wise are completely silent. They cannot process and vocalize the words of the Creator, Heyah, spoken in the wilderness. They lack the structural capability to transmit the frequency, calling the wise women to go in it. Grid, Jeremiah 9:17-20. Because the male structural grid failed to declare the words, the Creator shifts the execution to the women. In Jeremiah 9:17, the text commands, thus says the Creator Yah, the what? Power of the hosts of heaven. Consider and call the mourning women, that they may come. Send for the wise women, that they may come. Y'all ain't even sending for us. Y'all over here talking shit about us, making videos about us, calling us witches. What does that do? DHB or whatever his name is, DH something or whatever his name is. He made a whole video about me talking about I was a witch. And I never said nothing to that man. I even was recommending people to go watch his video. He made a whole video about me being a witch. So, the Hebrew text specifically calls for women, wise women, and skilled women who deal in sonic frequency, dirge songs. Y'all said I spoke a dirge. Y'all said y'all need to speak the dirge. Directive to the women. Jeremiah 9:20. The Creator completely bypasses traditional male hierarchy commentary and addresses the women as the primary legal and spiritual conduit of the word. We the legal and the spiritual conduit of the word. Hear ye the word of the Creator Yah, O women. Now the beginning of this goes with listen, it goes with hear, it goes with obeying. When you hear, it also goes listen and it also goes obey. O you women, and let your ear receive the words of the Creator's mouth, and teach your daughters a dirge, and every one her neighbor a lamentation. The blueprint in the action, the women are told to shema, hear, execute the words directly from the Creator's mouth. Bypass the men and go straight to the Creator. Why the women? Because the men were stuck in mental chaos, unable to find the ancient paths. The Creator utilized the double XX biological frequency to track frequency tracker of the women. Their ears and voices are hardwired to receive the unadulterated frequency anchor into their bodies and channel it through accurate vocal vibrations, the dirge, to forcefully shock, realign, and correct a dying environment. Would you like to break down the Paleo Hebrew word for wise women, Chamata, to see how it is eternal design locks directly into the ancient path? Yes. Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah. Yah called me. Hey, called me. Hey, he called me, and I answer back. Woo! Every time I close my eyes, I thank Yah. Ooh, Yah, hey, called me. I call me, and I answer back. Answer back. Thank you, Heyah, for pouring into me. And thank you for giving me the ability to receive the words of life. All right, come on. I need you in my life. Oh, thank you, y'all. Woo! Paleo Hebrew. Y'all, I'm all off key, but y'all, I had to sing it. Paleo Hebrew breakdown of chamota. The word of why for the word wise women in Jeremiah 9:17 is the feminine plural of noun. Chamota. Break down this Exact five-letter prophetic string letters by letter reveals how its internal engineer locks directly into the ancient path. Novet Olam of Jeremiah 16. The chet, tent, fence wall represents a private courtyard, a separation barrier, a boundary, a sanctuary wall. It cuts off the outside elements to protect what is inside. Ka, open palm, bent hand, represents a curved surface, a bowl, a container, a physical capacity to catch, mold, the whole, a whole, and mold and hold a substance safely. We're going to mold it and we're going to catch it and we're going to physically have it in a container in the surface and it's going to stay with us safely. Mean, rushing water, blood represents a chaotic flood, liquid, mass, energy, deep, unformed fluid matter that needs structure. Bob, tent, peg, iron nail represents a heavy wooden spike or fastener. It physically binds the earth to the sky, anchoring the structure, securing so that it cannot shake. Do you all understand and understand that we are supposed to be looking up? When we read, we look up, not down. We look up. They got us reading down. We need to be reading up. Vav, tent peg, iron nail represents the heavy wooden spike. Fastener, it physically binds the earth to the sky. So we're looking up. It anchors a structure securely so it cannot shake. Ta represents the cross stick mark, a permanent monument, a signature, an intersection point, and the ultimate boundary mark of legal covenant. How Chema locks into the ancient paths of Jeremiah 6. In Jeremiah 6:16, the men abandoned the ancient paths, leaving the land in structural chaos. The internal letter of the Chakma functions as a step-by-step technical blueprint to reverse this breakdown and restore the grid. Isolation and chaos. While the male leadership allowed foreign doctrines and corrupt to breach the community, the Chamas began to drop a protective wall. They formed a cupped vessel to trap the wild and uncontained corruption of the era. Structure of the liquid mass. The man represents the liquid state of the society that has lost its footing, and the wise women do not run from this chaos. They use their collective frequency to hold the mass fluid steady so it cannot be reshaped. So it can be reshaped. Secure the sign, covenant sign. Once the chaos is contained, and the Chokmah drive a heavy peg, bob, straight through the center of the timeline, locking the people back to the permanent monument and signature cross marked Tav of the ancient path. When the Creator tells men to look for the ancient paths in Jeremiah 6, they refuse. Heyah calls the Chakmas, the women in Jeremiah 9, because their very names mean protected vessel that grabs hold of the running chaos, pinning in it down to the original covenant mark. They are built to structurally repair the path when men lose the layout. Would you like to examine how the letters of the ancient path directly pair with these letters of wise women? Yes, and also show Huldah and Deborah and Dinah Dinah's physical presence was judgment in itself. It's a lot. That's a lot of information. So the internal software of the Hebrew language, the mechanical connection, Choma, and the Nabat. The internal software of the Hebrew language operates on a flawless geometric balance. When the Creator tells the men to look for the ancient paths, Novet Olam, and then explicitly overrides them by calling the wise women Shemos, the letters themselves reveal an exact mechanical interlocking grid. Observe how the letters of these two words mechanically, I gotta go unlock the door, mechanically, hold on. Okay, so we gotta call the internal software, and the language operates on a flawless geometric balance. When the Creator tells men to look to the ancient paths, Nevat Olah, and then explicitly overrides them by calling the wise women, the letters themselves reveal an ancient and exact mechanical, something I just thought of something, interlocking grid. Observe how the letters of these two words mechanically interlock, showing that the Chemoth possesses the inverse key required to build and restore the Netevot. Text, ancient paths, the wise women. So we'll do that. Locking, pinning, sealing. Okay. Mechanical actions. Okay. Noon, top, bet, bob, top. Okay. Erecting the wall, forming the bowl, locking the fluid, pinning the hub. The outer wall gate. The path begins with a noon, sprouting, seed, flowing life. It is vulnerable to trampling. The wise women bring her Chet private courtyard while she erects a structural bounding around the vulnerable flows of life, creating a secure sanctuary where it can not be compromised. The container, the path, requires a tav, boundary mark. The wise woman supplies the kaf, open palm bowl. A mark on the ground is useless if there is no bowl to physically hold and distribute the substance. She forms the structural vessel that gives the boundary line real world shape. The fluid anchor, the path, established a tent, a house structure. So the women is the structure of the law, people. The women is the protector of the law. Inside the house runs the wild, mean, rushing fluids, mass, human chaos. The wise women use their biological matrix to process the chaotic current. So our matrix defeats Mastima's matrix, okay? The wise woman uses her biological matrix to process the chaotic current, converting volatile success ties into stable living spaces within the household walls. The central axis and seal. Both words conclude that with exact same anchor, string, ball, iron, peg. So hold on, Bishop. Get on, Bishop. Get me, Bishop. Watch out. We're gonna put this towel down here because it's gonna be wet outside. So here. Hold on, y'all. So the men abandoned the Nevat. The men abandoned the Nevat path. The Creator called the Shema, the wise women, because their phonetic and pictograph structure matches the inverse architecture of the path. They do not just walk in the path, they are mechanically built to repave it. Structure shifts, changing the path situation. Throughout the phonetic history, whenever the male priesthood and leadership lost the blueprint, women stepped directly into the vacuum to reestablish the structural law of Heyah. Huldah, Deborah, Dinah embodies chamber, active, the mother frequency, and fabrics the garment of the state to cover the systematic exposure to override paralyzed military leadership, to visually indict the Canaanite grid. Heyah making clothes in the college. When the lost scrolls of the laws was unearthed in the temple, the king and the high priest did not go to male prophet. They went straight to Heyah the prophetess. The text notes she lived in Jerusalem, and the Machina translates translate as the college, the second sector, this chambers of the God. I did not tell y'all this was a college. This was schools they was at. This was schools they was at. If y'all see them cutting up right now, this is schools they was at. Didn't I tell y'all? The Machina translates to college. To college. Shifts. Heyah's physical function was overseeing the structural weaving of the high priest garments and royal vestments. In Paleo Hebrew terms, making clothes is for fabricating a structural cover to conceal and conceal exposure and vulnerability. While the men had left the nation spiritually naked and exposed through corruption, Heyah was weaving a literal and prophetical fabric of restoration. Her mouth delivered the unedited, sharp judgment of Heyah, cutting straight through the king's panic and resetting the national timeline. Deborah, the mother frequency, Judges 4-5. When Israel male military infrastructure was paralyzed under Sarah's iron chariots, the text states that Deborah did not arise as a standard political ruler, but rather, let's say, okay. So Deborah, the mother frequency, Judges, when Israel is the men. When it says Jacob, that is the women. So, okay, y'all heard that sound confirmation. So she was the mother of Israel. She was there to teach them, the men, the right way, because they was going the wrong way. When Israel male military infrastructure was paralyzed under Sarah's iron chariot, the text states that Deborah did not arise as a standard political ruler, but rather until I, Deborah, arose as mother in Israel to teach the shift. The word mother is aleph, strength, mean, water binding, fluid. A mother in the prophetic text is a strong binding force of the nation. So a mother is not a bad thing. Being a mom is not a bad thing, women. You are a strong binding force of the nation. Barak, the general, refused to go to the battlefield unless Deborah marched beside him. She did not teach the men from an emotional stance. She held the absolute spiritual law of Heyah, forcing the army into alignment, reordering the physical geography, and shattering the enemy's grids by pulling down the exact cosmetic timing of the heavens. Because y'all men are not doing anything. That's why there's so much sex trafficking. That's why there's so much kidnapping. That's why there's so much grape. That's why there's so much unaliving. Why? So much slavery. Why? Because y'all won't stand up against it. Y'all won't stand up against it. Dinah, physically present as the judgment in itself. Genesis 34. The name Dinah is derived directly from the root dine, which means execution of strict law, vindication, and judgment. The shift. Dinah did not have to say a single word. Her very movement out to see the daughters of the land functioned as a spatula diagnostic line. Spatial diagnostic line. The moment that Hivite prince Shechem touched her, it automatically activated the judicial payload built in her name and identity. Her physical presence inside Shechem's house operated as a court case, an indictment that triggered in the total physical destruction of the Canaanite city-state by Simeon and Levi. The Canaanite Moabite voice versus the pure portal. The wife stealing architecture in Shechem. In the Testament of Levi, found among the ancient fragments, reflect original patriarchal traditions. Levi explicitly tells the systematic corruption of the Canaanites in Shechem. For Shechem was called a city of imbeciles. They did mock all the earth. They violently stole wives from foreigners, and they treated them with utter contempt and degradation. The Canaanites were structurally altering the lineage by using physical violence to seize women and break the genetic and spiritual matrix of surrounding tribes, setting foreign women outside the tent. The wrong voice. When the scriptures detail the catastrophic fall of Solomon through his foreign wives and the isolation of Moabites and Canaanite next verse outside the camp, it is an issue of vocal frequency collaboration. Portal matrix double H chromosome. The anelupoid non-resistant structure blocks the portals of the laws. Do you see that? XXY or XXY. It destroys it. So the double Hey structure found in Heyah and Yahweh requires a pristine XX chromosome gateway to accurately echo and manifest the Creator's sound waves on Earth. When the lineages are corrupted by remnants of the ancient rebel architecture, such as the lineage of the Eloid or specific hybrid anomalies involving chromosomal variations like XXY, Kalinefer, or XYY, the physical avatar loses its resonance capabilities. You cannot resonate the law into your genes if you don't have XX. These genetic structures cannot act as open portals to the laws of Heyah. When Solomon brought these foreign voices directly into the inner court, he was not just marrying women. He was installing competing vocal frequencies inside his house. These non-resonance frequencies redirected the keen attention and scrambled his inner perception, the precepts, the bend, and completely muted the clean, short voice of the Creator within his administration. Setting these networks outside the tent was a structural filtration mechanism. It was executed to ensure that only the pure, uncorrupted double X female grid remained inside the camp, keeping the portals wide open so the prophets could accurately receive the living words of Heyah. Would you like to examine Paleo Hebrew letters of the covenant, Beret, mechanically locked inside biological makers in the frequency? Oh, thank you for getting that for them.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
There's one for each of them.
Cool. Did the kitty do good
Yeah.
after his shots? Okay.
He's got to go back next week for shots.
Okay. It says in that paper that I have to make an appointment.
I already did.
For Diva?
Hmm?
You did it already?
Yeah, that's why I texted you. They got to go back June 14th for their boosters.
No, but what about her getting her spade?
Yeah, we've got to call and make that appointment.
Yes.
And that's here in Fort Collins.
Right. So I left the paper up there so you can call it. It should be in her medicine thing. It's inside her medicine thing. So you can call for me and set that up for me so we can, so you can help me with that.
And their rabies tags are on their collars already.
Right. Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
All right, let me finish this up real quick so I can get done. In Paleo Hebrew breakdown of Beret, the word for covenant in the Tanakh is Beret, breaking the four-letter prophetic string down into. She's sniffing. Wait a minute, I'm gonna give it to you in a minute, little girl. In Paleo Hebrew, pictographs reveals the exact mechanical technical used to filter out noise, guard genetic code, and keep the vocal frequency clean. Bat house represents the physical body, the womb, the family line, and a secure indoor sanctuary isolates what is inside from the chaotic elements outside. Resh, head of a man, represents the chief, the primary authority, the firstborn, the highest intellectual spirit. Wavelength, yod, hand, and forearm. Which the power, that's the power, y'all. The yod is the power. Power, power, power. Represents active energy, power, transmission, chromosomes, dynamic workforce, or a direct line of action. Tav, cross sticks, represents the ultimate boundary mark, a moment, a seal, a signature, and an impassable legal intersection. The medical lock into the biological matrix. When you read the letters of Barrett as a continuous operation machine, they form an exact spatula, a genetic protocol designed to safeguard the double Heyah, the X exporter. So we are the mark. Insulating the vessel. The covenant begins with the bet. It established that the processing of the Creator's voice must be taking place within an isolated, well-defined container, the physical body in the family lineage. If the container is breached by outside non-resonated frequencies, such as the compromised Canaanite lineage of Canaan and Moab, the walls of the bet collapse, and the clean environment is lost. Alignment to supreme frequencies. Inside the secure house, the Resh acts as an antenna. It locks the mind and genetic code directly onto the Resh. The chief head, Heyah, it ensures that the occupants of the house are only vibrating at the high possible spiritual frequency, ignoring the lower destructive frequencies of the surrounding nations. So we can ignore them. Now, what did I tell you about at the beginning? That we were supposed to be doing what? We were supposed to be able to block out the distractions, block out the outside noise, and block out the inner mental noise. We're supposed to be able to do both of those. We're not being able to do that because why? Why? They gave us the wrong law. They told us blood, 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 instead of renounce, 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 renounce. Okay? Transmitting the code. The yod represents the actual hand of transmission. Biological. This is the piercing replication of the uncompromised chromosome line. It represents the active energy that passes the double Heyah architecture safely from generation to generation without deletion, insertion, or hybridization with non-portal lines like XXY or XYY anomalies. The final structure lock. The word concludes with the Tav, the cross sticks monument. The Tav is a permanent legal seal. It acts as an impassable filter as the door of the tent. It bars entry to any mismatched genetic and vocal wave, ensuring that everything passes into or out of the bed is stamped with the clean signature mark of the Creator's covenant, the prophetic execution. When the Kohenim, wise women, priestess, or prophet operates within a barret, they are not participating in religious rituals. They are standing inside a highly engineered frequency shield. The bet and Resh focuses the mind and the body onto the Creator. The yod and the Tav seals the genetic data and the vocal apparatus. This mechanical look ensures that when the Creator speaks, the sound waves are caught by a perfectly clean biological portal. What did I say over here? What does it say over here in Jeremiah 22 verse 28? An unwanted vessel, an unwanted portal. Bet and Resh focuses the mind and the body onto the Creator. In the yod Tav seal the genetic data and vocal apparatus. This mechanical lock ensures that when the Creator speaks, the sound waves are caught by a perfectly clean biological portal, completely free of foreign distortion allowing the pure words of the Heyah to manifest with absolute precision on earth. So, over here in Malachi chapter 3, if you go to Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, it says this: those who fear the Creator Yah spoke to one another, and the Creator Yah listened and heard, and took, and a book of remembrance was written before the Creator for those who fear, those who give thought on the Creator Yah. So then, what is the book of the remembrance? The Creator Yah heard us and sent down the book of the remembrance to the true law. That is Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. And they will be precious treasure for me, says the Creator, the Master of Legions, the authority of the legions, on the day which I bring out. And I will have mercy on them, as a man mercy on his son who serves him. Then you will return and see the difference between what is righteous and what is wicked, between one who serves the Creator Yah and one who does not serve the Creator Yah. The book of remembrance will be written when we call in the right frequency on the right name at the right time in the right place, and we have the Tav in us. Let's give y'all the praise and all the glory and all the esteem and all the might to receive the true Bet Rosh focus on the mind and the body on the Creator, the Yod and the Tav seal, the genetic data, and the vocal apparatus. This mechanical law ensures that when the Creator speaks, the sound waves are caught by a perfectly clean biological portal, completely free of foreign distortion. We don't hear mastema. We only hear what the Creator tells us to do. Then it says over here, they will be a precious treasure for me. The Creator Yah, says the Creator Yah, the Master of Legions, on that day which I bring about, and I will have mercy on them as a man has mercy on his son and serves him. And then you will return, and then we will see the difference between righteous and the wickedness, between the ones who serve the Creator Yah, Heyah, and the one who don't serve the Creator Yah. We will see it in their action. We will see it with the fact that they were able to listen. They were able to understand, and overstand. We will see it in their action. We were able to hear and obey. We took action on what we heard. Let's give the Creator Yah and Heyah all the praise and all the glory and all the esteem. All praise to the Creator. Hallelujah.